just being with them is a special thing, and I've got much respect for them. And I don't know, I guess it would just destroy me if I felt betrayed by one of them.
I expect from this camp to hear things about who I am and to learn more about myself. Maybe even get someone else's opinion about what I am, and actually to learn how to accept others, although they're different.
I think it should be difficult opening up and saying what you feel to the different races, to their faces, because it's normally just to family and to the white people, not so much to the black people that you tell what you feel.
I expect them to understand more about me than they know, because I feel that they're not in touch with me in that way, in a way that I would like them to be.
I think we've got the most romantic languages.
No, we have the rudest language.
Yeah.
So,
What about the things that we are associated with? Do we put them on dislikes, or is that out? Okay, I hate the fact that we are associated with AIDS.
And
yes,
and crime, and crime.
AIDS and crime.
Mostly
Pregnancies, and teenage rape. Rape.
Rape.
I don't forget that.
Yes.
Hey, the first suspect.
Accused number one.
Of it. Rape. But what was
Teenage pregnancies.
And we're proud of our land, but and all that.
I know, but one thing I'm saying is that when people say about okay, black people, HIV, AIDS, and having babies, what they mean is they don't really realize that okay, no, we are actually the not minority, but there's more of us. So obviously they'll put the blame on us. As
they must look at the percentage.
They should look at the statistics, because they don't only point to us.
What do you like about being white? What do you like about us?
Skin color.
Yeah, but it's
That we can tan.
we can tan.
A dislike is that you can always see when we're blushing.
Put it down, that's great.
I was in a class last year I was the only white girl in my class, okay? In the beginning, I thought, this is how I'm actually going to hate this year. This is terrible. I'm going to have no friends. I literally sat at my desk for the first 2 weeks of school, didn't talk to one person, made no effort whatsoever. And I'm not really like that, but I started off with such a bad attitude towards it, and I used to go home and say, Mom, this is pathetic. And eventually I went and spoke to Mrs. Robertson. I said, Miss Robertson, I want to move. This is pathetic. I want to move to some other science class where I can have friends and stuff. And she said, Amy, why do you want to do that? You're making no effort whatsoever.
I don't feel comfortable going to a predominantly black area, because you sense that people don't want you there. You know what I mean? So I think in a way I can understand that people, they're upset about the past and stuff, but the black people, they also need to get over it.
Imagine that was you though, John. If you've had whatever, if you had your house taken away from you, you've tried to apply for certain jobs and have been reserved for white people, and now that's changed. Now it's a democratic country, and now some other people are saying, okay, we must forget about that now and move on.
I think sometimes, maybe I am a closet racist.
Oh, what's that?
A closet racist.
You don't say it.
You don't say it, but you think it the whole time. So they can actually be
But what do we like about him?
Some of the clothes.
Yeah,
The clothes are funky. I was noticing, on camp, there's a groupie of them, I'm not mentioning everything. They how can I say, they click and they click together. They don't make an effort to go to one of the blacks or the colors to mingle.
My aunt was a political fighter. She was always in jail or something. So the picture that was painted of a white person was a bad person who wants to get the black man down. And my mother, she's yeah, I guess she's always had this anger inside of her, which I do not know where it comes from. I'm guessing it's from back then, because they were the ones that really had a hard time.
When I was little, it was the blacks were the maids and the whites were the people who paid the blacks to work, and the blacks didn't have very high jobs, and we were above them. I was ever in a car and I'd see a black person walking on the side of the road, we'd like automatically lock our doors. When I see like a black man driving, I used to go, Mom, did he steal that car? You know, I mean, that's the kind of impression that I was brought up in.
Okay, for one, my grandmother was a domestic worker for a very long time. Right now, she has got like knee problems because she had to scrub floors, and she's like 73 years old. And some like white people who are 73 years old are very active. And my gran can hardly walk next door to go see her friends. And I don't get to talk to her that often because she's always tired. My mom, she gets very uptight when she has to deal with white issues. I mean, like, she thinks back, like, I know she's like one of those people who would love reverse apartheid, just to make them feel how they felt, you know. She knows, and I know, that she would have had a better life had there not been apartheid. Because in my family, we, well, except for me, they have very good brains, you know.
We don't have to convince each other of what we think. We need to say, this is something that we think, and you can say, no, we disagree, and this is what we think.
Okay, the first one is, we're very proud of our culture, our roots, and everything, where we come from. Proud of that. Bodies. Our history, the struggle, like to apartheid times and all that, we are proud of that because that's how we got here in the first place.
Being associated with crime and poverty,
Rape,
teenage pregnancies, diseases, and like that's always when they want to educate people about AIDS, they always go to rural areas. And like, that's...
And townships and stuff like that.
You get a lot of that stuff. You get a lot of education about AIDS on TV, and in rural areas, like you know, you don't necessarily.
Who are interviewed? The black people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's in the townships where people don't have TVs and stuff, so they're not exposed to it.
TVs.
I'm not saying you. The rural areas.
I live in a township.
The rural areas.
My grandma lives in a rural area. She's got a TV.
I'm glad for her.
Some of us thought that white people are untidy. They don't wash anything. There are some people who have like very strong roots, which shows that they don't wash that regularly.
I've got an example of that. Remember last year that English team came from rugby?
Yeah.
I hosted one of the guys, right? And then when we woke up in the morning, my mother like kept on asking him when he's gonna wash and stuff. And he said like, no, I'm not gonna wash. I washed like yesterday. He's English. Like,
I washed every day.
It's actually an English thing because we knew people from England, and because of the climate there, they don't wash that often.
What do you mean by that?
So, one of our biggest assets is black people.
Okay, I see.
Whatever we do, you know we gotta be walking like this. We show everybody. I mean, like half the people at school, they're gonna say, because you have a huge behind, and I'm like, that's alright. You can say that to a white person, they'd be like, yeah, I know.
Some white people don't have any imagination. They have to have money to do something fun, whereas you can grab a brick out. Well, as a kid, I used to grab a brick outside and pretend that was a car.
We used to make cakes out of sand, people, and we ate them. One, they think think they are superior to black people? 2, they have an identity crisis. The next point does it, they don't have a culture, they never know which side they're on, the white side of things or on the black side of things.
Okay, what is the response from the colored community out there? Oh, Ryan.
It's very difficult to be ambitious because the minute you step out of what's like the right thing to do, like in the colors, then you said they can be very bitchy and you know that. Then you don't get accepted back, that's the thing, you see. You understand?
I think that's what we're saying. Well, I actually said this about the culture. I wasn't pointing any fingers. I'm upset at that, the attitude of the culture, because that's exactly what happens. As soon as somebody succeeds, and they cut them down. And there's so much potential. There's so many brilliant people, but they don't let them get up there.
You very seldom hear of a white child being very like community based. Like I said before with colours, like certain holidays, just family time and Christmas and things. You spend more with your family than you will go with your friends. And you very seldom hear about white children that spend the whole day with families.
Like they, I mean, like they have no community spirit. Like, but they have school spirit.
Pinelands, we like have all the clubs, you know, you'll have the cricket club, you'll have the hockey club, and you'll have like the bowls club, and you'll have everything. And that's like our community, it's formed. So if you want to be part of whatever, you just go join that club or do whatever you want to do.
I think they're talking about the sense of neighborliness, going into each other's houses or borrowing a cup of sugar.
I also think that would differ.
Looking after your auntie's children. Or
That's our culture again. It's their culture to do that. For us, our culture is to go to sports events, and that's community for us. That's unity for us.
They don't try to fit in. It's like, you are white, you are my friends, and I won't try to make any other friends with any other color person of color. That we also don't like, because certain people like really seriously try to fit in, and sometimes they try too hard, but some of them just don't try at all.
Is when a white person tries too much to be nice to a black person. It's almost like they're on their own guilt trip. You didn't do anything to cause it, but they're like just too nice, and you like wonder why. And they almost make you feel actually inferior in that way, just by being too nice. And it's not the nicest feeling that I've felt, I know it.
I do feel guilt because I've been brought up in a society that I don't like blacks, and I feel guilt because, you know, I don't think they should be treated like that. They're all humans, and we all should be respected for who we are. I do like us for, you know, what we are and how we are trying to get over it. I mean, we aren't exactly saying, no, we don't want to make friends with other cultures. We want to make friends with other cultures, and we want to make the new South Africa, you know.
Reconciliation is okay with me, but if you push it too hard, it won't work. And I do not understand, if we are willing to forgive them, they should be willing to forgive themselves, you know, before they come to us.
They're impatient with other, like, they don't give us enough time with other races, like, they won't give us enough time to, like, try to help us to adapt. They're, like, expecting, like, to happen soon, quickly.
You say we're impatient with other races. Black people have been in the struggle for a long time in South Africa. Why should we be patient? Now it's turning around. Now we must wait for you to get adapted that, oh, now we're the less privileged ones, and so now we must get adapted, blah, 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 and now the black people must feel sorry for us. No,
but when we also see the struggle with you people.
Exactly, so we should be on the same level.
But we're not. We're not that impatient.
You said we're impatient, so I'm like wondering why you're going to say we're impatient. We've been in the struggle for too long.
A lot of the whites feel superior to a lot of the other races because of apartheid, and you know, that's not a nice thing because we don't want anyone to like feel inferior to us. Okay. said, I think it was Malcolm, fear that apartheid happens in reverse. And it was like, some of the white people are like paranoid that, you know, if we let go of like the power and like the feeling of superiorness, then the black people or the colours or something will take over, and then we'll be the ones at the bottom of the food chain, and that, you know, so whatever. I like feeling unsafe or intimidated because you're right. Like if you're at a black person's house, or you're walking through like a rural black community or coloured community, then you'll feel like you know, because you're white, and people will be like, oh, there's a white chickie, you know, or a whitey or someone like that.
I just want to know why, if you're going to feel intimidated or unsafe if you go to a black township. I mean, like, if you choose to go there, then you know the risks of being the odd person out, you know? Odd person out. Being the odd person, you know?
The thing is, when you come into our community, we don't. Do you feel intimidated by us when you come into our community? Like when you're in Pinelands and you're
now we don't, because we know we have a right to be there. But back then you were intimidated to actually be in a white area.
But
because you knew that the police could just come up to you and say, Tombas, if you didn't have it, man, you were in for it, you know? And stuff like that. If these days you choose to go to places, you can go wherever you want. So why go to a place where you're going to feel intimidated?
But I've also said, but if you have to, we are.
Okay, if you have to, then you know there's going to be someone who's accompanying you, right?
If a white person, do you think there's more of a chance of a white person who's walking through Manenberg of a white person or a coloured person being black?
Do you have money?
When we went there for a sport match, you feel intimidated, like everyone, and as you get out the bus, everyone like watches you get out the bus. They're like, you walk into the hall and they like watch you step by step.
Watch them back. Make them feel intimidated.
It's very hard.
What's the point? Make them feel smaller.
White person's walking around and you kind of pick it up, you get funny looks. And I know you put the odd person out, but you don't feel welcome because of that. You know? It's almost like people are suspicious about you, like I don't know what you're going to do there. But like you don't feel welcome, you're not made to feel welcome.
If you're with a whole lot of people and you're with some blacks that you know that'll protect you, and that you actually have to trust them to like look after you, and I think
you know what usually happens, you just walk there and then because they are used to white people going to these townships, there's nothing.
But are they used to white people going
to
to
there's so many different
tourists, international people, they just stroll around Langa as if they're in Europe.
Some of them, they walk along
with these huge cameras and then nothing happens to them.
You can't convince the people that they mustn't feel afraid. We can give them a few reasons and you should try this maybe, but I think you do need to hear that there is some fear. Maybe it's unfounded, maybe it shouldn't be, but there is some. You need to take us by the hand and say, come home with me, and come spend an afternoon, and come see what it's like, and come walk down the street with me and see that you're safe.
So quickly, I mean, of course, before we knew it was out of control, and folks were accusing and we weren't quick to deal with it.
Are you coming? Not come.
Your task as a pair is going to be to make something from your clay together. Okay? Blindfolded without talking.
So we're allowed to talk to each
No,
other?
blindfolded without talking.
So then how do we know what we're making?
Okay? So you have to do your best to communicate somehow. Even if you only make sort of a shapy thing, that's okay as well.
there's no mixing, or people only sit with their own races at break, things like that. What sort of response did you say to that?
If you're gonna go to another group, you and your friends are gonna go. You're not gonna try to go by yourself, because I mean, that's gonna be like. And people like don't feel comfortable. They feel secure with their own, like their own clique that they're in. So therefore, then people don't like to feel out of that comfort zone. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Maybe when we get back to school as a group, we could try something different, like maybe get into another group, like all of us, and then like maybe when the others at school see this, they might think, hey, this guy is comfortable with this, maybe I should try it.
Go together and you just decide, okay, we would like to sit with you guys, do you guys mind? And then you sit in, you see if you fit in, you see what happens, you see the like atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we also have to be conscious to move beyond just fitting in. And at certain times we do move beyond it. If you fall in love with somebody and you go for the first time to house, you feel really uncomfortable and you feel you don't fit in. But hey, you hang around usually. And you make it work. I have found as an adult of 42 that it's those very times that I don't feel comfortable that I've now actually learned, hey, here's a place to grow now. So just hang in with that feeling.
No, most of us just lack the confidence, you know, we don't think, no, you know, I'm not going to make it.
Give it a bash. What's the worst thing? Worst thing is you don't make it.
Yeah, we just hate losing.
But then you've never given life a chance. You wouldn't have been on the rainbow camp. Imagine if you said, they're not going to select me for the rainbow camp.
That's what I thought.
That's what you thought.
So why are you here?
Thank you.
Got to take the chances. We're going to light our candles starting from this one and pass the light around. It can represent anything you like for you. Maybe for you it represents the rainbow camp and what's happened here. Maybe for you it represents humanity, whatever. Now we're going to pass that light to each other. In a sense, create what's happened here on camp. If we go back home to school and someone you were with on the rainbow camp, if their light goes out, the light that's burning at school, you've got to help them light it again. Notice first of all the swell of light in the room compared to the one candle here. That's one person trying to go it on their own. Now we spread that light and just look around a little bit and see the people's beautiful faces. Faces always look stunning in candlelight. Okay, look at these beautiful people you're here with. And we've got to keep our little lights burning. If your light goes out, which it might, because there might be a bit of a breeze, remember you have to get it lit from someone else. Okay, if your light goes out back home, you've got to light it again from someone. You've got to get relit, reflamed, re-inspired. And just find a place on the field, just so that you're a little bit apart from each other. And look how the light must spread as we get back.
The candle situation, I even actually cried. It touched me deeply because, you know, a candle brings light to everything, and even when it was actually dark and we started lighting up the candles, it started showing the symbolism of what we can be to South Africa, starting off at our school and becoming larger and larger, and showing everybody else what we've learned, the experiences we've shared at this camp, you know, making a difference, showing who you are, showing your true colors.
We didn't actually even matter to us what color we were or what we felt about the different cultures. We were there to work as a team, and that meant a lot to me because I like working as a team, and I think that if the whole country works as a team, we can all come together and work together and do things. I mean, we worked brilliantly.
I don't know, I just felt a connection, a deep connection with the people who were there. And I mean, I don't know, I cried because just being with them is a special thing. The people who are here, I feel I can trust. As for the rest of South Africans, it's going to take a little work.